Welcome to Dig It, a real estate podcast by Hubbell Realty Company. Well, welcome everyone to Dig It, a real estate podcast by Hubbell Realty Company. Today, I am joined by the fabulous duo of Jocelyn Taylor and Steve Van Ort, who are representing On With Life. You are on their board of directors. Jocelyn, you are an owner business rep in the construction industry. And Steve, where do I even start on your career and all of the things that you've done over these past, 30, 40 years in the community, especially
Yes.
up at near Ankeny?
I have spent my career of my life giving back because God's been so good to me. And On With Life is just one of those things now that I feel very passionate about.
Yeah, well, I'm really thankful that you both are here and willing to share some of your experiences and your insights and telling a little bit about of our audience about On With Life and all of the great things that you guys do. You're also the co-chairs of the upcoming Celebrate Life gathering and event, correct?
That's correct. It's September 26th.
Exciting. Well, let's start off. We're going to get more into that, but Jocelyn, will you start us off? How did you get involved with On With Life, and what brings you here today?
Yeah. Well, thank you for having us,
Absolutely.
inviting us. Yes, I as well am very passionate about On With Life. I was introduced to On With Life in 2015. My employer at the time had volunteered our team to help with the build at the Butterfly Garden. And so I had never heard of On With Life. I'd only been in the Des Moines Metro for about 2 years at that time. So we went and we helped build the Butterfly Garden located at the Ankeny campus of On With Life. And so I was really inspired by everything that was going on there, the staff, the person served, the whole thing. And so I wanted to get more involved. I started doing some more volunteer work for them, and then in 2022, they approached me to be on the board of directors. So that's for the last 3 years, I've been part of the board of directors and learning taking even a deeper dive into On With Life, meeting a lot of the persons served. It's been very impactful personally. And then in addition to that, over the course of the last year, we started the Community Advisory Committee, which both Steve and I are a part of. I chair that committee, trying to get the word out because it's this gem that's somewhat still tucked away in Ankeny and Coralville, but we continue to grow and get the messaging and the people impacted across the world with brain injury is there's a lot to be said about that, but On With Life is a direction that often people with brain injury or trauma is pointed to. Yeah. So people need to know that locally. I mean, your next door neighbor might fall and have a concussion, and they have no idea On With Life is there. And so it's part of our mission to get the word out.
Yeah, it is this. We always call it a hidden gem. I think that it's a little less hidden these days.
It is.
Even their expansion into Polk City, too.
Yes.
It's one of those things where I'm like, finally, people are learning and getting to know a little bit more about On With Life. And Steve, can you tell us a little bit more about it, that mission, but also how you got involved originally?
I've been involved with On With Life for almost 30 years. Joined the board maybe 6-7 years ago and purposely kind of stayed off the board because I felt like I had more freedom to do things in supporting On With Life. But in the early days of On With Life, it was just a small number of families that some of them had family members that had the needs that On With Life now offers. They were going other places around the country, and I'm not sure exactly how the idea came together, but is there an opportunity for us to do something like rehabilitation, brain injury, spinal cord injury here in Ankeny?
Yeah.
And the answer became yes.
Yeah, overwhelmingly so.
And early on, funding was one of the things that we needed to put together. So I helped and was involved in some of the early fundraising to build the first building. And the name On With Life, through conversations, and I wasn't involved with those conversations, but it came up with some of the folks. One of the parents said, we just need to help our families get on with their lives.
Yeah.
So it's just not affecting the person served getting on with their life, but those that are caregivers. And Hubbell was very helpful last year with the homes for homes of
those
hope.
families.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get into that. Absolutely. I think there's been a reoccurring theme with all of our organizations who are part of this year's Hubbell Extreme Charity Golf Classic, and that is the caregiving side of all of these stories, is that the little unsung heroes of how many millions of hours it truly takes for people to take care of those with, whether it's disabilities or brain injuries or Alzheimer's and dementia, all of these things. And so, I've always thought the name On With Life is very fitting. Their branding is beautiful, right?
It is. It's gorgeous.
If you haven't been out to the Ankeny campus, I always say just get out there to experience it and see it. It's a lot more. It's more expansive than you think it would be, but also just to see all of the different tools and resources that they have for people who have, had an injury of some sort. So I want to go back to the mission a little bit. Helping persons living with brain injury and other neurological conditions. What does that kind of mean in practice? And what does that mean? What does that look like on the campus for some of the staff and caregivers that work at On With Life?
Yeah. So we have such a continuum of care. So it could look like the celebration of a person taking their first step after months of therapy, or it is bringing someone in who's had a severe brain injury, who lived a beautiful life, worked professionally, and has had a severe accident and needs to begin their inpatient treatment, then graduating into an outpatient setting, and then hopefully integrating back into whatever it is their goal is. Is that just being at home and cooking, or is it back into the workforce? And so each person is unique. Each injury is unique, but they're treating the person, not the diagnosis. And so getting them back to whatever goal it is that they have,
Right.
Is really what it looks like. And the staff has unique practices and unique skill sets that they're unmatched, quite honestly.
Yeah. Well, and I know that some of our listeners, if they've followed us last year around the time of the extreme build, we got to actually sit down and hear individual stories from the person served at On With Life, which was amazing. And again, in some way miraculous, just
Yes.
the way that people persevere and really just dedicate and put their head down and think, okay, we're going to get through this. I'm going to, work with the resources that I have. And a stat that came up was 79% of people are able to return home after their time at On With Life. And that is impressive, in my opinion, to just see that level of success. Yeah.
Yeah. The staff, they celebrate every little thing.
Yeah.
And the person served, like we were in a committee meeting not too long ago, and we came out and one of the persons served has their own band, and they were playing rock and roll, our kind of like our music, rock and roll. And the whole person served, the staff, everyone was out there dancing and tapping their feet. And it's just little things like that make such a difference in the recovery process, and because it brings joy.
We say little things, but those are some of the most important. Those are the moments that really matter to people: the cooking, the dancing, the being able to, run a 5K or what,
or walk to the mailbox.
Exactly. It doesn't.
Or walk their daughter down the aisle
Yes.
and be the dad that he wants to be for his daughter.
Yeah.
And that's a true story.
Yeah. Well, On With Life is internationally known. So what I guess, what does success look like at On With Life? Jocelyn, you kind of went there, but, like you said, not just in numbers, but everyday wins.
Jocelyn's going to help me. I'll start and then I'll let her finish.
Yeah.
Occupational therapy, physical therapy, we hear those are the names, the words,
right.
But those aren't the words at On With Life. It's helping people get back to life. People aren't going to leave On With Life and say, okay, keep doing your physical therapy, come in once a week.
Right.
They have a kitchen where people go to and figure out how can they manipulate or move around in a kitchen and cook. And one of the latest things, and we so appreciate our companies like Hubbell and other companies that not only give their time and talents, but they give equipment. And a couple of examples, but the latest one was John Deere. John Deere works in Ankeny. Mm-hmm. They brought in they build sprayers there. They brought in the cab of a sprayer, put it in, and they also brought in a tractor, the cab of the tractor. And that's part of the therapy. Mm-hmm. Farmers, or whether it's outpatient or in person served in care, if they're a farmer, they're going to go through that therapy and they're going to leave there feeling like, okay, I can get in my combine.
Anyone mm-hmm. in that agricultural sector, right? Because again, these type of injuries happen to anyone and everyone, and so I can't imagine and I know because I've spent many an hours out on the campus, but that cab that you can kind of walk in and out of, and some of the pictures that I've seen. Farmers don't always wear their emotions on their sleeve, right? They kind of keep them tucked somewhere in their pocket. And the smiles of those who've been able to climb up there and just see that they can do it again, it just mm-hmm. kind of gives them that much more motivation. Yeah. Right.
It's the memories of where that's how they knew life. And now life is new mm-hmm. moving forward. And so that is what the team at On With Life is, and those who support us, Hubbell, John Deere, and others that provide those tools to rebuild those people's lives and find their new path forward.
Yeah. So another stat that I'm sharing, because I'm sharing stats throughout all of our conversations because you guys have so many. And again, people, those are digestible. Some people just like to hear those. In this one, 76 certified brain injury specialists on With Life's team. And that accounts for, I believe, 25% of Iowa's total. Mm-hmm. All just in one location, mm-hmm. right? Directly just an arm's length away from, someone you love who maybe needs those services, or you if you need those services. I think that is just a staggering stat.
Yeah, our staff, we have a very substantial staff for the number of persons served. It could be 1-to-1, it could be 2-to-1, but it's very, it just depends on the type of service or area that we're speaking of, whether it's inpatient, outpatient, or long-term care. So we are very fortunate to have the staff that we have, and our staff at On With Life is incredibly passionate, and they're great leaders. Yeah. And they're happy to be there, and that's what
people.
Yeah, our nurse, our director of nursing this last week was speaking to us, and she said, the happy staff creates successful outcomes for our person served. So, and I believe that wholeheartedly.
I love that. I got to say hi to Gail.
Oh, yeah, everyone loves Gail.
I got to say hi to Gail.
She's awesome.
Gail's my girl. Can you kind of went there, Jocelyn, and Steve, feel free to chime in too, but can you share a little bit more about the different programs and, the places where this care happens and how it all connects? Because we've kind of lightly mentioned Ankeny, Coralville, mm-hmm. Polk City, but really these are pretty intertwined, but can you break those down a little more?
Yeah, so Ankeny is our largest campus, and we have our inpatient program there. So we recently completed an inpatient building. They were combined with the outpatient at one point, but now we have our separate inpatient program facility in Ankeny on the same campus. We have our outpatient facility and services in Ankeny. We also have an outpatient facility in Coralville, Iowa, which we also have a partnership with the University of Iowa Nursing School there as a community partner. So it's a great opportunity there to share resources and learn. We have our long-term skilled care in Polk City. We also have, and that was actually recently built by Hubbell.
Yeah,
and
that was a really cool project to see come to fruition. It was kind of this rehabilitation, but expansion, and to see that area go from kind of needing a little bit of a facelift to this state-of-the-art care. Mm-hmm. The Hubbell Construction Services team does a phenomenal job in the medical facility mm-hmm. world, and all of the just specialized equipment that's in there, but also just the entryway is so welcoming and open. And
that building needed more than just a little facelift.
Yeah, it needed a lot of love.
No.
It needed a lot of love.
It needed quite a bit.
We were able to raise the money, and that's part of what I help do is raise the money, talk to organizations and to people, and share with them the need. But we were able to raise the funds to take that building to the studs and build it back exactly the way it needed to be built back to serve the people that we serve and to help them. Because it is that in Polk City is a long term. I mean, there are people that is where they live, that have been part of On With Life in the long term. It originally came from Council Bluffs and came to Ankeny, came to Polk City a little over a year ago. Yeah. There are people that have been with them for 25 years. Yeah. This is their home, and I think that was the importance of
getting it right.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll finish with the other information here too on other locations, but with that building, I mean, the need is so great, and we'll see where even that grows to here in the future. But we've had the opportunity to be in that space quite a bit with those who are served and the staff. And, it is an inspiring building, facility, staff, and then the people that are being served within that. They are happy, and it's a very fortunate space to be working and living in for all of those folks. So, we're really grateful for what Hubbell was able to do in a very short timeline for a construction project.
We were proud to be a part of it.
It was very challenging too. And we achieved a lot through the state as well with ADA requirements to serve the people that are in that facility uniquely with dignity, rather than just a standard ADA approach to it. So I'll digress on that.
Level up. I love it. Yes.
Lastly, we have our home and community-based services. So that's residential neuro-rehab in Des Moines, and then we have New Horizons in Ankeny. So our continuum of care is from inpatient to independence is essentially how we look at it.
Yeah. It's a broad stroke, isn't it? I think people have kind of maybe I know what they do here, or I've heard of them there, but really to paint the whole picture, just really, sets a different tone, and really you never know. I have two people personally, beyond the stories and beyond the people that I've been able to meet at On With Life, I knew two people personally who had to utilize their services for a I would say non-severe car accident, but lasting impacts of that and long-term effects of that accident, and another one who was in a very life-threatening accident. And both of them have nothing but wonderful things to say about their time there. I mean, one I know was utilizing, I believe, the family home at the time. Now there's 3. We'll get to that soon. But those inpatient, outpatient, it was months of recovery, but really I had one of those moments when I knew that Hubbell was working with On With Life. I just said, hey, wait a second. That's how I know that name.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd be surprised. You start talking to people, how many people have utilized the services of On With Life or have been impacted themselves personally, their family, or someone that has been served there. And I have several friends, whether it's a concussion from a fall or a severe car accident. I have a very close family that was impacted and by their daughter being in a severe single car accident due to ice on her way to high school for morning sports, and nearly died, but she's a survivor and continues to work, has worked with On With Life. Her dream was to get back to doing art. She was a very good artist, and so that meant a lot of the motor skills with her hands, and they worked with her, and her artistic abilities are back and better. They're beautiful. And then unfortunately her grandmother, same family, had a stroke, and they utilized the services in the inpatient and the outpatient, and she recently graduated from the inpatient program after her stroke, working in the garden. She just wanted to get home and cook for her family and be with her husband. So it's amazing, just two people in one family.
Yeah, we had one of our trade partners on from JMT Trucking, and they, Rasmussen, and so they came on, and he said the same thing. Sister, and I believe it was another family member of his, utilized On With Life services, and he said, one was one thing, but two was another. And he came on. We'll link back to that in the show notes, because that was a story that we got to tell on this podcast and in these studios from last year during the Extreme Build.
Jeff Wagness.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes, thank you. Did I get that company right?
You did.
Okay, that was off the top of my head. So thank you. I was expecting you to correct me if I didn't get it.
You would.
I have to know his name because he's my cousin-in-law.
Oh, well, you better know his name.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeff. We'll say hi to everyone on here. Steve, can you give me, as a board member or just as someone who's, like you said, been in the community for a very long time, been a leader in the community, but also part of On With Life, how has it impacted, your life directly, or maybe your perspective on kind of just people and the giving and the caring nature that, you get to see?
I think it really parallels what Ankeny is about, and what the entire Metro Iowa is about, improving quality of life for everyone. And I think that's the reason that I've rallied around On With Life, and others in Ankeny have rallied around On With Life, because we are bringing quality of life back to people that we're not going to let them give up.
No, absolutely not.
And I want to be such a part of On With Life, and being able to provide the facilities, the new outpatient physical or the therapy center that we built and moved into a little over a year and a half ago, is state of the art, really helping people, but being able to bring people from Ankeny through that and saying this is in our community. But really, to me, it comes back to making sure everybody has the same access to a quality life.
Yeah. I love that, and I completely agree. Let's go into the Extreme Build a little bit. Again, for those who may have listened last year, they might have a little bit of insight or seen it, but in 2024, Hubbell went to On With Life, the Ankeny campus, and we built, as part of our Hubbell Extreme Build, what we do every 4 years, we went there and built 2 brand new family homes. Can you guys describe what family homes are and kind of what purpose they serve for the person served?
Sure. So the person served oftentimes is coming from out of the central Iowa area. Yeah. So, and it's very difficult for families in general just to go to have this traumatic experience, but they want to be near their loved ones. And so the families, instead of driving back and forth and all, not being there for their family member, On With Life has created a family home for families to stay in. So they're kind of small to medium-sized apartments,
But all under one roof.
All under one roof, yes.
Shared living, shared kitchen.
Yes, and so private bedrooms and bathrooms.
Yeah.
And so, yes, the shared kitchen and kind of common area for people to socialize in, which is also a benefit to the families. It might not feel that way right at first when you walk in, and it's kind of like, oh, gosh, we have to share space with another family, also going through a tough time, but that's where the bonding begins, right? But then, so they're right there on campus, on our Ankeny campus. And you're going to have to remind me how many we built exactly.
Absolutely. I think I could rattle it off in my sleep. We did 2 family homes, and they were around 5,000 square foot each, I believe. Yes.
5 bedrooms.
5 bedrooms, 3,500 square feet. Shared kitchen and dining areas. And what I love about these, they're kind of on either side of the campus, but they're connected via the trails into your beautiful gardens, into both, you can access both the inpatient, outpatient areas, plenty of parking and things of that nature, but really give people their own space. And I'll say they are spacious inside. It's a little, I would think it would be a little different coming from, your own house into one, but I was so surprised to see how much space there was.
The opportunity it does offer for those families, though, is wonderful, because then
they're free of cost.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. It's part of the program, essentially, as they enter into inpatient or in some outpatient. But so it allows that family to be still together. Yeah. And also there's, that safety component too for those who are being served, is knowing that their family members are right there. And then their family members knowing that they're right there for their child or their parent.
And able to practice those everyday motions, work on getting out of bed, work on getting in the shower, cooking, or what have you. We were so proud to be a part of that project and raise the money, and our trade partners donated, but your supporters really showed up for that build as well.
The alternative to having these homes is staying in a hotel.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Not having that family setting, not having that place that you can go back to anytime through the day. Go back, and because they need rest too.
Yeah.
Caregiving is a tough job.
Yes. Anybody
that's gone through anything like that, and to be able to have those homes there, it's important for the person the family member, that once that person gets released from on with life, they now become the caregiver.
Right.
And this gives them an opportunity to work with staff to learn how to be a caregiver on campus. Most recently, there was a man that from Oklahoma that was being served there, but he wanted to come back to do outpatient. So he came and stayed in the family home for a month, he and his wife, to be able to go through outpatient therapy.
Because he wanted to be on with life.
And that gave him an opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not just Iowans, right? There's people there are people from all over. Can you remind me how many people do you guys serve a year? I think it's around 1,000 or 1,300.
I think 1,300 to 1,700.
Okay. And while that sounds maybe low to some people listening, that is not. That is that's a solid number of people
and I don't know if that's just outpatient.
Right.
So I don't want
link to some. Yeah, there's a lot of stats I can share.
Refine that stat for you, but yeah. So, and one thing with the extreme build, just from a personal note, I know the Hubbell team pretty well. The superintendent was a superintendent on a project that I had just wrapped up with Hubbell in commercial real estate, and I went and I got to visit, of course, while the extreme build was going on, and I talked to a lot of the guys in the field while they were doing this, and they were so impacted by this organization and what they were doing and who they were doing it for, and didn't even know. A lot of them didn't even know that it existed. And in the construction field, you want people to know about On With Life because of the risks in the field. But anyways, it was just such a shared gift for it wasn't just an impact for On With Life for the gift from Hubbell, but it was also an impact for those in the field. And so it's just such a shared mutual gift for everyone involved.
I say this every time I talk about the extreme builds. People ask what's so special, and it's truly the stories and the people who rely on the services. They always come to check it out during the build. And this was, I mean, it took us 5.5 days to build the 2 family homes out at
It was so
On With
fast.
Life. It was our fastest yet. It was record setting. But everyone, all the persons served, and I'll say this to you for Easter Seals, we've done it at Ronald McDonald House, and we've always had those people stop by, share their stories. And, you know, I was given the farmer's grief for being kind of some, you know, tough old birds, but like, these construction guys don't get weepy very often. They don't get teary-eyed. They kind of keep their emotions under wraps. And I can't tell you how many times our trades have left in goosebumps, tears, saying like, this has changed my perspective. This has changed my outlook on what this service means to these people, or what the work I'm doing here today means. And it gets them very excited to say, okay, what's the next extreme build? What's the next, what's the next organization that we can, you know, help do the next big thing? So I love seeing that side of it. And truly it was a very fast build, but it was so much fun. And I'm glad that the family homes are being, you know, heavily utilized from the On With Life team. They're just like, you know, people signing up and getting right in the door and having more than one home. Going from one home to 3 family homes is a huge, huge deal.
Quick little story.
Please.
I don't think it'll get me in trouble with Rick.
Oh, no.
Oh, if it does, I'll get you out of it. It's okay.
When he was approached about would this fit into the criteria of an extreme build, he took the plans and looked and went back to his team and talked about it, then contacted us back. He called me and you know, Ricky's got a sense of humor, very dry.
Yep.
He said, "I'm sorry, we can't build you one." And so silence, and he says, "But we're going to build 2." That's Hubbell.
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah.
Always thinking bigger, right? Always thinking how, you know, they're asking for this, but maybe we can
Just a little bit more.
just a little bit more.
And they're utilized.
Just a little bit more.
Those homes are utilized every day. Our first family moved in, I think, within 30 days of it being completed, and then it just started snowballing from there. So it was very, very impactful overall.
Well, before we head into On With Life, you know, beyond the dollars, and I know that that's a lot of what you guys do. You're trying to raise awareness, raise the funds, trying to keep improving all of the different services and resources that On With Life provides. But are there any other standout moments of the partnership or the connection that have really stuck with you? Any more stories that come to mind?
Well, I just appreciate the partnership with Hubbell. Specifically, they didn't just build and leave. Like, they've stuck with us. They've checked in with us. They continue to look at other opportunities with On With Life on how can we make this better, or how do you need to serve your people better, your staff, your person served. They continue to help us evolve as an organization to continue our services expansion, as well as just being better overall. And I love that, you know, Hubbell continues to just stick by us through everything. And with the golf outing, things like that, again, continue to raise money and funds for our purpose and our mission.
And we appreciate being on this podcast.
Yeah.
Well, good.
That's
I'm
another
so glad
example.
You guys came today. Yes, and I mean it's fun. I want to, again. We've heard it. It's a hidden gem. It's this or that. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna keep putting it out there, right? We're just gonna keep sharing. We're just gonna keep making sure that people know that this is, you know, a fantastic resource right in our backyard.
There's one thing that you have to. There's one thing that I want to overcome.
Yes.
Is when I hear somebody says, it's Ankeny's best kept secret. Well, not for long, because my goal is to
expose it, show them.
There we go.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we are a organization in the United States because there are doctors who refer their brain injuries, patients or diagnosis to On With Life from all over the country.
Yeah, we are they are a nationally renowned organization.
And by very well-known other brain injury, brain trauma type clinics, specialists and they're like, no, you have to go to On With Life.
Yeah.
So, and to that point, it could be like I knew someone, or I know someone who had a concussion, and they were working through therapy at another local clinic, and it was 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and just nothing was really happening. And so she decided to go to On With Life, and within 2 weeks, she saw major differences. And she's a business owner. She couldn't look at her computer. She was having almost like a vertigo reaction, not able to sleep. And then suddenly now with the unique therapies at On With Life, she was able to move on and go on with life.
I love that.
It was perfect. And she just thought, oh, it was just a little concussion. I fell, not a big deal. But it was impacting her life every day. She wasn't able to run her business.
Yeah.
And
now she can.
She's back to normal.
Well, you guys have an exciting event coming up, and as co-chairs, like I mentioned when we kicked this off, Celebrate Life is coming up. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is, when it is, how people can get involved? Read from your script if you need to. Get it all right, Steve.
Come on, Steve.
All right.
You got this.
Celebrate Life is our signature event. It's not only fun with good food and friends, but it's a night of meaningful stories and hope. Oh. Hi.
More pizzazz. Like we're reading it, like a movie reel.
Okay.
Yeah, so
What is
September
Celebrate
26th here coming up, and it's at the FFA building in Ankeny.
Yes.
We've held it there for the last 10 years, so this is the 11th annual, which I can't believe it's been 11 years already. And we sell out every year, so it's important to buy your tables, get your tickets. We have a silent auction and a live auction at the event. We have really fun giveaways, and we usually, and this year specifically, we will have a family or person served speak to our guests, and of course staff are there. It's a great opportunity for people who join us that evening to thank our staff for everything that they do. And we have a great VIP reception before for all of the sponsors and those who really have supported On With Life leading up to that night. And overall, it's just a really fun event, and there's a lot of smiles. There's a lot of people from around the Central Iowa area, but people that come in from around the country to support what we are doing at On With Life.
It's a celebration. Mm-hmm. We take those couple of hours, we fellowship with food, a lot of conversation, but we hear the stories of how On With Life has impacted the person served.
Yeah.
We're letting people know that the dollars that they're giving, the time that they're volunteering, is making a difference in a lot of lives. And I think we need to celebrate. We have to celebrate.
Absolutely.
And this is a great time. By the way, I will once again be offering a live auction item, a dinner for 6 cooked by moi.
Oh.
And so
I bid on that last year. I won it.
Oh my gosh.
And then I donated it back to the staff. And that's what's wonderful about our community at On With Life.
And they come to my home, and
it's awesome.
So you're a good cook.
He is.
He
has his own social media feed on cooking.
I'm a food blogger.
Yeah.
Well, you better plug it. Now's the time.
I just did.
Well, we'll link to it in our show notes. That way everyone can click on it and go give you a follow and see what you're cooking up later.
You can become a member of the Steve Van Oort Supper Club.
I can't wait.
It's exclusive.
Well,
but it's a celebration.
It is.
And that's why we do it.
I love that. And it's an event that we love to support and we love to attend. I know that we have a table, I think, this year, but we will put that in our show notes as well. That way, by the time, by the time you're listening here, I think you could probably still snag a ticket or two. But again, you're going to have to really get on it because, like you said, it sells
does
out.
sell out. Yeah.
Well, the next event that is quickly approaching outside of Celebrate Life is Hubbell's Extreme Charity Golf Classic. And that is August 21st. And I know the registration is closed already, but we have some ways that people can continue, just gifting of any dollar amount through our website that's in our show notes. But we also added something this year where we're doing what we're calling a drone drop raffle prize.
Ooh.
So you can donate, and a drone will pick up your ball and take it down the hole and drop it, and whoever is closest, that pot is split between that person and the organizations. And so in those cases, a lot of that pot generally gets donated back. But I'm very curious. It's had a awesome response so far. So I'm excited to see how that new edition goes.
Yeah,
but
that's fun.
Alzheimer's Association, Easter Seals, and On With Life are our organizations for this year. And it's just, I truly love all three for various reasons, for differing reasons. And, Easter Seals is right across the road.
Neighbor.
Just neighbor right down the road from On With Life.
And we do have some interaction between the two organizations in therapy.
Yep, and I could see that where you guys would benefit from each other's resources and being neighbors so close by.
Partnerships are important.
Yes.
Very much so. That's an understatement, I think. Well, is there any other things that you guys would like to cover for On With Life, whether that's someone looking to donate or volunteer or just learn more outside of, we will absolutely link to onwithlife.org and some of the resources that, are out there on the website.
Yeah, we encourage people to understand everything that On With Life has to offer in so many ways to those who need the help, the families that need support, but also our community, and donate and support us in a way that is going to get us the equipment that we need, that will support our staff members, continue to allow us to grow and serve the need, because the need is real.
Yes.
And we continue to be folks from around the country, and especially in our state, reach out to us and say, we need you to expand. We need you to grow, because the need is there for brain injury and trauma. So but we can't do it without the support of the community. So I encourage those who are listening to support On With Life in volunteerism, financially. Join us to learn more at Celebrate Life.
Amen.
I love. Well, thank you both, Jocelyn and Steve. Thank you so much for joining us and coming on and sharing your insights, your involvement as co-chairs of this year's Celebrate Life, board of directors, members, and foundation president, and all of the things. But you both are really integral in this community, and I'm happy to have you here. So thank you.
Thank you, Claire, and thank you, Hubbell, for everything you guys have done to support us.
Thank you. Dig It, a real estate podcast by Hubbell Realty Company, is produced by Amplify Des Moines. Check us out wherever you get your podcast. Find us on YouTube at Hubbell Realty. Check us out on our website at hubbellrealty.com. And of course, like, subscribe, follow, and share across all social media platforms.